Perfect. We are live on the Google Hangout. And then I'm going into our webinar app, and we are live in the webinar app. So everyone should be able to hear us loud and clear. Perfect. And everyone, welcome to day 3 of the Business Accelerator. I saw everyone in chat getting ready, getting excited. I am just as excited. Thank you everyone for being here today. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So we'll start with intros, the way any proper person meets another. I am Ashley Hockney over at Teachable. I am in Union Square. And what I want to learn today is how I can help you, because it's a live seminar, it's a business accelerator, and we want to get into those nitty-gritty details. And we have a very special guest with us today. Hey, Maya, you want to say hi?
Yes. Hey, everybody. I'm so excited for today. I'm Maya Elious, in case you've never heard of me before. I'm a personal branding strategist. I teach people how to connect with their audience by creating amazing content and products. So I'm really excited to talk about list building today.
Yeah, and Maya is so awesome, y'all. She came and hung out with us a little bit in the New York office. I get all of her emails. She knows what she's talking about. So going to be a perfect person to talk with us today.
Oh,
so yeah, if for everyone else in chat, tell me your name, where you're from, and what you want to learn. And I'm going to go ahead and get this baby started. Y'all ready? Yeah.
So where do I see the chat? Like, I want to see what everybody is saying.
So you should be able to see it right there on that play page, the workshop.teachable.com/day3-email list/play. Okay. And it should be in the right-hand column. Perfect. Obi is saying hi. Grace wants to know your website. Michelle's saying hello.
Okay, there it is.
Cora popped in to say hello as well. Hey, everyone. Perfect. Hey, someone from Croatia coming to visit you soon. Some from Portland. We were just out there. All right. So I definitely believe the early bird catches the worm. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up these slides so we can get going on it.
Yeah, let's do it. I found the chat, so I'm ready. I love engaging. Good. I love engaging. So that's going to be a really huge part about what we talk about today, growing your list organically through engagement. So
absolutely. And y'all, we're going to do this all for free. So most people think they have to spend a lot of money for this. You absolutely do not. All right. So everyone is with us here in chat. We are growing, seeing more people, but we are going to go ahead and get started on this business accelerator. So everyone out there in chat, we are on day 3, and we are going to learn how to explode your email list for free. And for everyone who hasn't been with us on the other days, the Business Accelerator, well, it's a little bit different than other virtual summits, right? We are 7 days of action-based workshops to take you from ideation to launch. And each day is equal parts strategy, demos, and action points. So most workshops are going to tell you what you need to do. They're like, go do this, go do this, go do this. But are they actually showing you how? Are they giving you the action points? That is the part that we are going to be focusing on today to make sure you actually have the knowledge to launch your course. And of course, we have advice from the experts, these experts. So over the course of the week, you're going to see all these lovely people jump on with us. Yesterday, we had Nicole Walters, and today we have Maya, who you all just met. Maya is so wonderful. I can't say it enough.
Thanks so much.
Yes. So these workshops are going to be perfect for you if you have ever wanted to own your own business and generate income your way. And I say your way because maybe someone wants to earn 100K, 200K and work 50, 60 hours a week. Or maybe you only want to work 10 hours a week and make 50, 60, or 70. This is the way that you can figure out how to make your business your own. It is also perfect if you are a business owner, a blogger, a creative, someone looking to monetize an audience or start generating an additional revenue stream in their business. Or if you want to create a course and share what you know and help a lot of people at once. You know, we all have to generate a sustainable income and provide for ourselves, but we get to choose how we do that. And with courses, you can go to bed at night knowing that you're helping other people and sharing your skills. So if you're into that, this workshop's for you. So we are going to see in this Business Accelerator and the follow-up program, 100 brand new course creators to launch. And we want you to be one of them. And that is the only goal in this program, is to get 100 of you guys to be successful and launch your course. But I have one ask, that you're ready to learn and do the work. You know, every week I sit down with people who have left the 9 to 5 and I ask them, what's your one bit of advice? And they say, decide to decide, get ready to do it. Not tomorrow. You know, tomorrow never comes. We always get busy. There's always stuff going on. And no, not someone else. You know, this isn't for those rare unicorns out there that made it, or for celebrities or people with a following. We are talking about you. So if you all are into that, let's do it. Let's go. Give me a heck yes in chat, and we'll go ahead and start this presentation.
Yes, I want to know who in here is ready to do the work to create their course, because I know a lot of people come to webinars and all of the information is so great. And like she was saying, they actually give you guys the how. So there's no excuse for you guys not to put in the work and get it done and have your course up within the next, what would you say? How long will it take for them to get their course launched?
30 days. 30 days, y'all.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
30 days. We're going to take you guys to it. So I can see everyone's excited. I'm so thrilled. You guys are giving me energy. So let's do it. Let's go. Yesterday, we covered finding, refining, and validating your profitable course idea. And we tested it to make sure it was right. And on day 2, we talked about how to create lead magnets so you can find and attract students to your course. And today, we're covering that common question of how you put your lead magnets in front of people to really explode your email list and for free. So my promise for you on day 3 is this. We are going to answer that very ambiguous, most popular question, what is this marketing? How do I market my course? You know, every webinar I hear this, it's the question, how do I market my course? And we're going to break down how to get your lead magnets in front of your audience without spending a dime and build your email list in no time. And you're going to want to take some notes. So pull out that pen and paper. I know we all have maybe our Evernote or our Word doc up, but it's proven that if you take handwritten notes, it sticks with you better. So consider doing it. Get out that old pen and paper. And if you already have a school on Teachable, tell me what it is in chat. This basically just lets me get to know you guys as an audience, know where everyone is at. So if you have that school, tell me in chat and, you know, we'll get to it. So as everyone has come in, I've seen, you know, another 50, 100 people join this seminar since we've started. We'll get into introductions. So I am Ashley Hockney over at Teachable. I'm the head of content. I have had the real honor of being here and interviewing our top instructors, looking at the data. And I've been with Teachable as we've launched our signature course, The Profitable Teacher, a couple other internal courses, and consult as well. But my job is entirely devoted to helping you succeed. For over a year, all I do is create content that gets you to success. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this today, because I'm trying to help you guys out and share what I know to get you to success. And here we've got Maya. I will let her go ahead and introduce herself.
Hey guys, I always love seeing the introduction of me on other people's webinars because it makes me sound like way more cool than I really am.
Not true. I've seen your work.
Yeah, so all right. Hey everybody, again, my name is Maya Elious. I am a personal branding strategist, and right now I focus on helping people get noticed through creating content and products that's going to get people seen and actually make money online. Before I started coaching, I was a web and graphic designer. I had a creative agency, so to speak, and I decided to stop running my creative agency right as I was approaching making 6 figures in a year. I thought it was best to switch because a lot of people did not know how to create a strategy to get people to their website. And I really wanted people to succeed online. And I knew that it was more than just having a pretty logo, having pretty flyers, having a pretty website. They needed to understand the strategy. So that is what I do now. And all of my clients have been, you know, very successful, the ones who have put in the work, and they've even had a platform offline. So they've gone on to work with companies like Black Enterprise, Business Insider, ABC World News, and Forbes. So I'm really excited to teach you guys about list building today. I want you guys to be successful with your courses. Creating an online course is one of those things that's going to establish you as an expert, as an authority, so you can get on these larger platforms. So really excited for today, you guys.
Yeah. All right. So as a team, we have watched over 12,000 course launches. And we have access to all this hard data for these schools. So we can go in and look at who's successful and if there's patterns, right? And we've interviewed our top instructors, we've picked their brains, we've solved their support issues, and we've seen what works and what doesn't. And we've come to one pretty incredible conclusion. And I know that sounds like a line, but I wrote this slide because it is incredible. And that's that there's just one tried and true tested method for building and launching your own online course. So like I said, I've interviewed our top instructors. And when anyone surpasses a 5-figure launch, I sit down and I ask them, how do you do it? And they say, well, this and this and this. And what's amazing is this process is always the same, no matter what they're teaching, from programming to life skills to watercolor painting, right? And that's a beautiful thing because it means it's repeatable. And that's exactly what we're teaching you guys today. So now I'm going to answer the #1 most asked question here at Teachable. How do I market my online course?
That's so funny. I love it. It's such an important question, though.
Yes, and I put in all the exclamations in the questions because this is probably an exact quote from another webinar I've been on. It's how people feel. So the first thing I want to know is, who wants to know? Are you sitting here wondering the same thing? Let me know in chat and we'll jump into it. So yesterday we talked about creating lead magnets, right? You know, and while that term is slightly voyeuristic, what it really is freebies. It's giving away awesome free content so your audience gets to know you. And through that, we start to build our email list. And so looking back to that repeated methodology that every course creator uses, it's this. You need to give away a free piece of content, a piece of your course, or a lead magnet that we created yesterday in exchange for someone's email address. And we talked about this like a taste test, right? Like a Trader Joe's or a bakery. You go in, you taste the product, you know it, you love it, you like it, you want to buy it. And so that is what we are doing digitally. And today we are going to talk about how to market them and put these lead magnets in front of your audience, right? Because you can't just create that yummy taste test, right? You can't just create the freebie or the lead magnet. You have to get it out there. And that's where people start to get confused and what we're going to cover today. And so basically, the flow looks like this. You want to reach out to traffic sources where your audience is already hanging out online and put your lead magnet in front of them. And through this, you start to funnel people from these other areas into your email list through your lead magnet, and then you can directly sell to them later. Cool? And so if anyone was with me on day 1, remember how we built that list of communities as we started to look for our audience online and test our idea? Use those same communities, reuse that work you've already done. Use like those subreddits you found, the core lists, your inbound if it worked for you, right? You're gonna reuse all of that here to market your lead magnets. And today we're going to go over that. And through this, you are going to start to build your list. Cool? But before that, if you have any question, how do I market my online course? How do I get more students? How do I grow my audience? Even if it's at the end, if you've launched a course and you're through it, or if you're in the middle and you just want more students, or you're just starting out, this is how you do it, right? And why an email list? Well, I understand that question, right? Because right now social media is fire. It is so hot. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I want to be on Instagram. I want to be on Twitter. But at the end of the day, you want to have an email list. And Maya, maybe you can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That is so important. And I think email lists are so much more important than social media because it's like direct access to your customer where you can give them the exact information that they need. And social media can be very limiting. I believe that social media is best to build that engagement with people, build that trust, and then lead them to going to your email list so you can sell directly to them there.
Yeah, and Maya hit on exactly my first point, is that email marketing wins because it is direct, right? You get to reach out to someone in their inbox and talk directly to them and say, here's a link to buy my course. It has the highest conversion rates, right? Like, who actually buys anything from a tweet? Very few people. There is a percentage, but you have to start having like a huge following. At the end of the day, your email list converts higher. You also avoid the risks that come with social media. So what was it? Instagram just changed its algorithm and now people's followings are changing. Or Periscope used to be recorded on Catch and Catch went under, so it's not there. So the wonderful thing about an email list is that it never changes, right? You get to decide. There's no algorithm you're relying on. You also see better analytics, right? You can see how many people are opening up your email list, what your conversion rates are, which makes your financial planning way more predictable. And speaking of that, anyone who was with me yesterday might remember this magic formula, right? So we figured out how many people that we needed to get on our email list. And looking at this, you take your total number of email list subscribers, and at any time, you know a part of that list is ready to buy your course, and that's your conversion rate. And this times the price of your course is your revenue. But y'all, you can work backward, right? You can take your revenue goal, what you hope to make on your course, and solve for the variable total subscribers. And it looks like this, right? Conversion rate is something we estimate at 0.02%. And this email list size is up to you. And for price of your course, estimate 300, right? And you can go back for your revenue goal. So I'm an English major. Simple math is always a little bit difficult, but sit down and get your calculators out, because right now I want you to figure out how many subscribers you need based on your revenue goal and type it into chat. So I think a few of you were here yesterday. If you're around for today, go ahead and post your number again. Just want to make sure anyone new today is not completely lost. So we are figuring out how many subscribers we need to get on our list. So go ahead and do the math on that. Perfect. Beverly says 950. Michelle says 1200. Okay. Shelly says 1500. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So what's really awesome, guys, is that you can all do this, right? I'm looking out there and people are telling me 1,000, 900, 1,200. And the thing is, you can go from 0 to an audience of 500 to a few thousand people really quickly. You just have to know the right things to do. And everyone, including you, can do this. So there's not anyone that's going to be left out here, because yesterday we talked about these lead magnets, right? We created our checklist, our swipe copy, our mini course, our giveaway. And now we are going to put them in front of our audience to build the list to the size that we need to get to our revenue goals. So Maya, thinking about you and your lead magnets, do you have a checklist or swipe copy or a mini course? Have you done a giveaway?
I build my list through a free email course, and I really built my list a lot last year, like 1,000 people a month for like 3 to 4 months. By doing challenges. People were so obsessed with my challenges. Yeah. And I think it's because it wasn't just information. We're like in an information age where people are just kind of overwhelmed with all of the information, and my challenges actually required you to put in work and see results. So at the end of every challenge, people were so excited to share their results that they were just so addicted to it. So I did challenges, every month, and grew my list by 1,000 people a month. So she's definitely right by saying you can get your next 500 people within like 2 weeks if you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we've seen a giveaway we just ran here at Teachable. It was, quickly generated about 3,000 email addresses. So y'all stick with me to the end, and I'll show you how to get the replays in case you missed yesterday.
Yeah. And do you mind if I speak a little bit on the courses and challenges people are asking in the chat?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so my free email course is just a personal branding course for people who are very new online and they want to learn how to just kind of start building their personal brand. What is a personal brand? How do I know what my brand is? What are some of the things I need to be putting on my website? So those are the things that I taught in my email course. It was just a free 5-day email course. Didn't come with any video. It had a couple of PDFs, attached to some of the emails. And then the challenges, one was a 30-day branding challenge. One was a content creation challenge. Another one was a called Get Paid challenge. So it was like I was giving you tasks to build your brand. I was giving you tasks to start creating more content for your business. I was giving you tasks so you can actually reach out to your potential audience and make money. So these were very actionable tasks that was helping people get results. And then this could apply to people even outside of the business and branding expertise, right? So this could go for people that are in fitness. This could go for people that are in style. This could go for people that are in fashion. So it really doesn't even matter. You just need to be very clear on your audience to know what they want.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. And Maya, I'm on your freebie. I've gotten your quick little email course. It's really great. So, you know, y'all, I encourage you to sign up. Go check it out just as an example as you start creating your own. So, guys, once you have this lead magnet, that piece of free content that you want to give away, there's one thing you absolutely have to do, right? Because a blog post and writing on its own isn't going to collect an email address. You have to gate it, right? So if you look at a Teachable blog post, it might look like this, and you have this big orange button in the middle, and we call this a call to action or CTA button. And when you click it, you're taken to a screen here where you can access this upgrade, this free piece of content, and you have to submit your email address to do it. And so this is really key for taking your free piece of content and turning it into a lead magnet. And if you guys are wondering how to do that, well, one, I'm going to be honest, Lead Pages. There are other competitors, but the one that both Morgan used, we used to use at Teachable, and Maya use is...
Sorry to cut you off, Ashley. They're saying they can't see the slides. I think they only see my face.
There you go. All right, y'all. So here we go. Thank you, Maya. So a Teachable blog post looks like this. You have that orange button in the middle, right? You click on it, taken to a screen like this, where you have to enter your email address to go ahead and get that content upgrade. So to do this, right, you can use something like Lead Pages or a SumoMe. But Maya, I know you use Lead Pages, right?
Yes, I use Lead Pages, which I love. It just kind of makes everything easy because they give you a template. So yeah, Lead Pages is definitely my choice.
Right, right. But one thing we like to do here at Teachable, because we don't feel like you should have to pay any money, right, to create your course. So while we can recommend Lead Pages or SumoMe is great, you can also do it on Teachable. So the way that you work this, and it's a little bit hacky, is that when you create your Teachable school, you have unlimited courses. So you create another course, you make the sales page, the landing page for your lead magnet, and through this, you get people to sign up and they're within your Teachable school. So instead of creating a full course, you just put one piece of content in there and you can use our sales page editor to do that. And through that, you can find a way to freely, cheaply, with technology you already have, start collecting email addresses.
That is genius. I love that hack. I always love a good hack because like when you're starting out, not everybody has the money, even if it's just like $30 a month or something like that, you might use that money for something else. So I love that there's always a hack. And I feel like I've actually used Teachable for maybe like a free landing page or like a tripwire page if I wanted to sell something like really, really cheap. So
absolutely. And so if anyone's creating a course, you can simply create another course within it, and that can work for you. So that is one way to keep your overhead down if you don't want to spend another penny. All right. Y'all, we are about to get into the nitty gritty. We have over 13 different ways to start building your email list and 13 different places that we are going to start putting our lead magnets. So lucky number 13, let's jump into it. One huge way to do this is with community marketing. And the first place we want to talk about is Reddit. So Reddit is a great place where, well, it looks like this, right? And you have people asking questions in subreddits. And if your course answers those questions, it's a great place to drop a link to your lead magnet, right? So maybe I am teaching a course on photography, right? And I want to go into the photography subreddit and I can start looking at, oh, hey, this person here is a headshot versus a portrait. How are they different? And if my course answers that question, this could be a great way that you drop a link to your lead magnet in this subreddit. So there are a few things you should know about Reddit. And Maya, I don't know, have you ever played with Reddit?
I have not played with Reddit, but now I
Mhm.
might look into it.
Absolutely. So Reddit works very well if your topic is there and there's a subreddit about it. Of course, the biggest thing that we're going to talk about here is you never, ever, ever want to spam a community, right? You want to start engaging with them. You want to give, you want to talk. You can't just go into a subreddit and just drop a random link. You want to say, hey guys, saw this conversation above, wanted to relate to it, wanted to give you feedback on it. And I think I have something that could help you, and drop things in there, right? So anytime you are going out to another online community and putting your content there, you want to make sure you're not just taking advantage, right? You want to make sure you're giving back and getting to know the community. And also, I think you could probably speak to this. Like, as far as branding goes, it's hugely important that you don't come off super spammy down the line.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. You definitely don't want to be spammy. And I think that's like a really huge concern for a lot of people too, like when they're just trying to promote their course or even trying to promote their free stuff, they don't want to sound spammy. And I think the best way to do that is to be very intentional about what you're putting out there. You want to make sure that everything you're putting out there is actually valuable and actually going to help people.
Absolutely. So besides Reddit, and maybe Reddit is not a fit for your business, maybe there's not a good subreddit, or you just don't feel like there's a good conversation thread that you can jump onto, there are plenty of other options, right? So the next thing I would check out are forums. So this sounds pretty broad as is, but what you can start to do is just start Googling your course topic and see if there's a forum online where people are talking about your course topic. So in a lot of these examples, I use photography, right? There are a lot of people interested in freelance photography and developing film and wedding photography and pet photography and cake photography. You name it, it's out there. So a good place to start looking are in online forums. So I just did a quick Google for photography and forums. This pulled up, and I can go ahead and start looking at all of these different threads in here and engaging with this community this way. And every one of you will find a different forum that works for you. And, I do feel like if you're teaching on a topic you're passionate about and something you care about, you probably already have a few in mind, right? You probably are already hanging out online with people and learning. Go there, talk, drop your lead magnet. Go ahead and get engaged in that community. All right, number 3, Quora. So who here has heard of Quora? If you've heard of Quora, let me know in chat. I'm always amazed who has and who hasn't. And I know Morgan out there is talking to everyone in chat, and she has been our Quora queen here at Teachable.
Yeah, Quora is awesome. I was actually literally just on there a couple of days ago, me and Mariah, and I was searching Teachable versus another competitor, and people were like, yeah, Teachable is way better. All of the successful course creators are on there. They named like your top 5 most successful people.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And you can leverage that power, right? Because so I saw in chat, a lot of people know what Quora is, but for those that don't, it is a place where you can ask any question and get it answered. So I'm going to pull it up right now. So this is what Quora looks like. Oh, and hey, Morgan, there's your face. So you can basically go ahead and search for any question, right? And so I searched for online courses, and the thread looks like this. Just someone asked, what are the best resources in making an online course? And people comment and give answers, right? And you can leverage this, right? Because if your course is on, I don't know, give me a topic, surfing, right? If your course is on surfing, you could look up best places to go surfing on Quora and see where people are responding. And if your course answers that question, drop a link to it. This is a way to get in front of your people, get that audience that's there to get to know you. And it's awesome because if you look at this, look how short this is, right? Morgan wrote what, 300 words max, and it has, a good number of views. And you can find threads that are, thousands and thousands of views. I picked this little one, and as Teachable, we've answered almost all of them that we can, but there are ones that have 10,000 views that you can be a part of. And so what you want to do here is, again, don't be too aggressive, but answer the question and then include a link, either to your company or what we did is we linked to a blog post here, and that blog post just told people a little bit more about Teachable. So notice here, you're not going to want to drop a landing page to your course. You want to drop a link to a free piece of content that's actually really going to help your people, because your people aren't ready to go from Quora to paying $300 for your course.
Exactly. Yeah, that's such a good point. Like, really, honestly, the trick with trying to get people to pay you is to give them free stuff. I would even say like something that's affordable, like a little bit less in your course, and then, you know, sending them to your course. But you definitely never want to link to like a paid product, because just because you gave them a quick piece of information doesn't mean that they trust you enough for money, but they might trust you enough to give you a little bit more time by reading the content on your site.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm so glad you clarified that, because it's very, very true. And, you know, no matter what you're doing with your course, you want to have your students and your people in mind and be thinking how they're thinking and where they're at in the process of getting to know you and if they're ready to buy. And trying to push too soon, you're going to see low conversion rates. You're going to make people mad. But giving to the community always turns out better. So I can see in chat, everyone can go ahead, and I zoomed in. But here we are on Quora. So you can ask any question, what are the best resources in making an online course? And you can see answers. So does someone want to give me their course topic out there? And let's do this for you right now.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I love doing like live stuff in the webinar.
Absolutely. I will probably typo, because when I know people are looking at my screen, I always do. All right. So there's a little bit of a delay between us and the chat. So waiting for someone to give me an answer.
Fitness training at home.
Perfect. Grant writing. So if my course is on grant writing, I'm going to, oh, I'm sorry, I did not need to, I did not want to ask a question. I wanted to search for Quora. Okay, so I might just do it in Google. Grant writing Quora. And so you can look at all of these different questions in Quora here, and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. And so here, what are some common mistakes when it comes to grant writing? What's involved in grant writing? What's a good resource in grant writing? What is the standard percentage fee for grant writers? So all of these, as whoever's, I can't see in chat anymore, but if this is your question, right, this one helps you narrow down when you're teaching what people want to know about. These are a lot of your audience's pain points. You know people are wondering this. And now you have questions. You have a list of places to go to put your lead magnet. And so you can pop in and go ahead and answer that question. And look, you've got 200 views here, 149 views here, 138 views here. And oftentimes, if you've answered a question, you'll be notified if there's a new question or a new response. So a lot of these views will come back and see what you write. Cool. So that is Quora, y'all. And we're going to go into a bunch more, because we've just covered 3 and there are 13 different strategies. So
you guys are really fortunate to be getting all of this information for free. So I hope you guys are taking notes.
Thanks, Maya. Perfect. So number 4, we have inbound. I'm going to go quickly through inbound, because it is great if your content is anything related to content marketing, growth, online business. So it was started by the guys at Moz and not HubSpot, but HubSpot, Moz and HubSpot. So it's a place where content marketers hang out. So if your course is on business, every day there's a forum, you know, where people are uploading answers. Maybe this is similar to growthhackers.com, or Y Combinator has a website. So inbound works if you're teaching about business, but hey, is there another forum out there where people in your space are sharing content? Is there a place like this where there's an upvote system? Is there a place where you can share writing? Get those juices flowing, start thinking about those things, and figure out if there is a similar place that you can look into. All right, number 5. Who's ready for number 5? Discount websites. So this is really, really simple. And it's basically something like Groupon, right? Or deals.com, or we have a list of like 10 or 15 of these that Kyle is going to go ahead and drop into chat. And basically, it is a very, very quick way to make 1 or 2 sales, because this is a huge motivating point, right? If you've created your course and you actually make a sale and you see money come in, so quick to go out there and find a place where you can offer your course on a daily deal website. And you're going to see a few marginal sales come in. But if your course is $300, a couple of $300, $600, $900, sounds pretty sweet to me. So Kyle just dropped that into chat. And you can go ahead and check out our deals website. And so look for the blog post. The first way is to make your first online sale. Perfect. So if you want more, different deal websites, it is 21 ways to make your first sale online. Okay. Now, the number 6 thing that you can do, and we're going to go through these pretty quick, is meetups. So meetups are great for people who are people persons, right? You go ahead and you get to interact with people face to face, and you get really involved in your community, and you can meet people that will change your business, right? But it's really simple to start. Go to a meetup that relates to your course topic. Maya, have you been to a meetup?
Yeah, I've been in meetups before. I've hosted meetups, and they're just awesome because it's awesome getting to know people in person.
Absolutely. So meetups are huge depending on what city you're in. There can be 50 about photography in New York because I've actually checked it out. So simply go into your meetup, right? And so I pulled this up because I thought this was a great example of there being a meetup about your topic, right? It's Harlem Mirror Mutts Club. So if someone had a course on dog walking, right? I might go ahead and go to this meetup, check it out, get to know people, and let people know about my upcoming course. Maybe I'll send them a link to my content later, or I'll get to meet someone who will help promote it. But a meetup is a great way to start in-person community marketing. Has anyone out there been to a meetup? If you have, let me know in chat. I'm curious.
The delays are always a little bit so awkward because it's like, has anybody done this? And then you wait like 30 seconds.
30 seconds. And you're like, oh, hey. I know. I feel like the delay is necessary only because of, what was it, the Super Bowl in 2007, Janet Jackson. That's what I always think whenever we're putting in that delay.
Oh my gosh, Janet and Justin have started the delay effect.
Yes, they have. So meetups, great way to start to get to know people in your space that can help promote your course later. All right, number 7 is YouTube. So YouTube is awesome. You guys all know it. But did you know that you can funnel people from YouTube into your lead magnet? So we do it here at Teachable. And someone like Angela Fair, who we talk about a lot, is also doing this. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how. I'm going to pull up another screen. So YouTube works really well if you already have video content. A lot of times people think they have to be writing blog posts to get out there or creating like checklists. But if you're a video person, and some people are, this is a great way to start growing your audience. Oh, here we go. There you go. I was like, oh, did Encore just pop on? Nope, this is just Susan. Panic moment avoided. All right, y'all. So here we've got a YouTube video, right? It's one of ours here on Teachable. We're youtube.com/teachablehq. This was just an interview we did with someone. We wanted to get to know Joanna. We wanted to hear her advice on sales pages. We wrote a blog post from it. But we went ahead, and while this video is up, we also have a short description, and then we have a link that takes you back to our blog, our Twitter, our Instagram, and this is how you can start to funnel people from YouTube into your online course. Hey, you think this video is interesting? Come check out my fully fledged course. And as you're creating course content and you're creating videos, you can very easily take one video, throw it on YouTube, and start using that as a lead magnet. So if you have a YouTube following or you think your audience is interested in YouTube, this is the way to do it, because you can set this description here and put in any link that you want. So we're getting into the nitty gritty today, guys. We're doing it. We're figuring out how, and this is how you can start to funnel people from YouTube into your email list.
Yeah, that's genius. Video content is so huge. And if you guys can get over the fear of getting on camera, I think that doing videos is going to be huge for your brand. I use videos. It sometimes can be a pain to record, just having to get ready, but it's good. And then using, of course, the description to add in your freebie as that call to action.
Yep.
Really good stuff.
It's huge. Yeah, and I was the same way. Actually, when I started videos, I hated it.
Yeah.
Was so nervous and awkward.
Yeah, I mean, anything you start is like not going to be natural. Like when I started doing videos, I was so robotic. It was just really awkward.
Mhm.
And now I'm like much more conversational when I do my YouTube videos. So you don't have to be perfect at it, just do it.
Yep. No, totally and exactly. And you guys, actually, I sent out in the Teachable blog today. It was the first video I ever made about overcoming my fears because I was terrified of videos. And Cora and everyone here was like, "All right, you're gonna film it as you get over it." So you guys can check that out. But yeah, practice makes perfect. Go ahead, try it out. Video is great. It's fast, it's quick, and you're already creating it with your online course. So really think if you have a video that you could repurpose on YouTube.
Yeah, they still see, they're just seeing my face. So
yeah, it's switched back over.
Okay, cool.
All right. So number 8, SlideShare. So is anyone out there right now a designer? Let me know in chat because SlideShare would be perfect for you. So you have your presentations, you throw them on SlideShare, and if you check out this one, our designer Allison created a little SlideShare on creating workbooks and freebies, and it has 178 views. And just like YouTube, you can drop a link both below this and within the SlideShare itself to start generating traffic and funneling people from SlideShare into your course. And in fact, we love SlideShare. We've had a lot of success with it. And we have this one SlideShare on creating great templates that gets about 1,000 views every 3 days and funnels those people from SlideShare to the Teachable blog. So I want to check this out. I want to show that one exactly to you guys so everyone can see my screen. We are good. I'm going to zoom in. So this is something we wanted to create templates for all of our course creators as well. So, you know, if you want, you can go and download them as well. But check this out. So here we have our SlideShare. And you know what, y'all? When you are creating your videos for your online course, you are probably also going to be creating SlideShares, right? If you're creating slides, there is no reason why you can't repurpose and reuse them and put them on SlideShare. And when you do that, you're going to start to see an audience. And SlideShare is really, it's been a really untapped resource. You know, a lot of people, they think of social media, Twitter, Instagram, even people start to get into Quora and Inbound before they think about SlideShare. And really, this is the one outlet that's had a huge impact on our business here at Teachable. Check this out, guys, 90,000 views. And this link right here that you can drop into SlideShare goes directly to the Teachable blog. So if you throw up your slides onto SlideShare, you can send them directly to your course, to your sales page, to a lead magnet, whatever you think makes sense. So SlideShare is very cool with that. All right. And I have a big question for everyone out there. Who thinks that they could do 3 of these? So we just covered a bunch, right? Inbound, discount websites, meetups, YouTube, SlideShare, Quora, forums, Reddit. Who out there thinks they could do 3 of these? And let me know what those 3 are in chat. And the big hint is that I think any of you can do those things, right? It's super simple. You're already creating this content. We talked about it yesterday. When you create your course, you're creating videos, you're creating slides. All you have to do is go ahead and put them online. So how cool is that? Like, you're just taking the stuff you already did and reusing it to generate an audience, right? And putting a SlideShare or a slide deck up on SlideShare, 10 minutes, y'all, you got it. Awesome. So I see everyone in chat, everyone's excited. Cool, Michelle thinks she can do YouTube, discounts, Quora, Quora, meetups, and YouTube. I've got people on SlideShare. Yes. I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love what you guys are saying, what you're going to do, because there was a lot of I can. So I'm ready to see who's actually going to do it, who's going to put in the work.
Absolutely. So, all right, I love this. Everyone's super excited. Everyone's stoked. All right, we are going to go into the second place where you can start to find people, and that is through social media marketing. So social media is huge. It's hot. Everyone loves it, right? Social is where people are at. They're getting excited about, and especially if your audience is younger, they're the millennials, you want to be here, right? And the thing is, I have a few things that I want you to remember about social though, right? There are thousands of strategies, right, for how you can own Instagram, how you can own Twitter. But if you are a first-time course creator, full truth, social should probably be an afterthought, right? It should be something you're doing, but it should not be where 90% of your time is spent. It should be 10 or 5%, right? Or don't do it at all. Think about what is most effective for your course. Are you someone who gets really distracted by Twitter? Maybe you should cut yourself off there for a second. And if you decide you want to do social media, you want to batch and limit your work. So this is really cool, right? Instead of trying to tweet Monday at 9 a.m., 11, 12, 5, 6, and 9 p.m., write all of those tweets at once and then schedule them out, right? Batch your work, make it easy on yourself, and decrease that amount of time that you would spend by automating everything you do, right? And this will show you what's essential. Cool. All right, guys. So number 9, and out of our 13 different strategies for free marketing, Facebook groups. Facebook groups are blowing up. Maya, you have a Facebook group, right?
Yeah, I just started my Facebook group, which is awesome because I started taking Caitlin's Fab Facebook group course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been really good. A lot of people are engaging in there. If you guys need help creating content, I'm having chat conversations right now, and David's saying, how can I build my list without having a course? And I'm saying you need to create content first. That's why Ashley's saying don't even worry about social media. You need to be creating content and working on the actual course before you waste your time on social media. And because social media is really good to drive people to your content, but if you don't have any content, you're wasting your time on social media. So that's what my Facebook group kind of just interacts with people, talking with them about how to create content. And so, yeah, Facebook groups are really, really good. It helps you engage with your audience and see what they really want.
Absolutely. And so y'all, Maya just mentioned Caitlin Batcher, who launched her course, Fab Facebook Groups, and she is with us to talk about sales pages on this Business Accelerator. So if you're interested in that, come check it out. And Caitlin would go more into this, but to give you guys a quick overview, here is our Facebook group here at Teachable, right? So we have, you can see, close to 7,000 members in this group. And what that means is if you're someone who is trying to help course creators, this would be a great community to start talking to people, to start putting a lead magnet, or getting feedback, or getting to know your audience, right? But here's the big thing you have to remember. So you can't always spam, right? You can't always drop a link. And if you do, there might be a specific day that you should do it. So here at Teachable, we would be a little bit hesitant to let a link go that was just like, oh, hey, someone dropped in a link to their course on creating courses, right? That would not be super cool. But people like Pat Flynn will do a Tips and Tools Tuesday, where if you have a tip or a tool, you post it on Tuesday. And Freedom Hackers, they do something on Thursday. Thursday, you can post a blog post. Or you can see something like a Click to Tweet Tuesday, where everyone in the group posts a click to tweet. And as long as you tweet out 2 other people's, they will tweet yours. So very, very cool to start looking at Facebook groups as a place where you can go in and start to get to know your audience, get to know their pain points, and on the right days at the right time, promote your work. And at the end of the day, you want to be influencing people. You want to be in this space. So it's a good place to be. And getting to know how groups run will work really well when you start to create your course, because maybe you will start a Facebook group within your own course. So number 10, Twitter. Everyone out there has heard of Twitter. I feel like it has this like infamous reputation, in which I totally understand. So this is how you can use Twitter, right? So we're going to look at the Teachable page right now. And what you can do is include a link to a lead magnet you've just created. So this is Teachable's here, and I'm going to pull it up to show you, pull up this page live and show you guys how we do it. So today I wanted to get everyone to sign up, show up to this Business Accelerator. And I think everyone can see this now. And I put in this bit.ly, right? Customized branded bit.ly, right? With a hashtag. So you can start to build your business here. And that way anyone who is following you on Twitter can go ahead and click to your lead magnet. So this is a great way. People will follow anyone on Twitter very quickly. People will give away their email address a little bit more rarely, right? You're happy to follow someone on Twitter, don't want to give someone your email address. So this is a great way to catch those people and take them from Twitter onto your email list. Maya, how do you feel about Twitter?
Oh my gosh, I am addicted to Twitter, and that's why it's so important that all of my tweets are scheduled out. So when I'm like, okay, Maya, get off of Twitter so you can focus on work, I still have things posting on there. But I love Twitter. It's like my most engaging platform. And I think it's so smart how you gave the link. So if you go to my Twitter, you'll see like at the top, it'll promote like my most recent webinar. So like right now it promotes the webinar that I have going on tonight. And then when I don't have a specific like event that I'm promoting, then I'm promoting my lead magnet, I'm promoting my free email course. So I actually created like this like 30-second like welcome video where it's just like, hey, new followers, this is who I am. I have a free course for you at my website. And then that's what people see when they come to my Twitter if I'm not promoting a webinar.
Absolutely. And so David just asked, what's the best way to get followers on Twitter? And without going into a whole webinar on Twitter strategy, the biggest thing I think is tweeting the right amount. Everyone is like, oh, I'm going to tweet like once or twice a day. On Twitter, it should be much more than that. It should really be tweeting about 7 times a day.
Oh my gosh, the very least.
Yes.
I promote 7 times a day, which means I probably tweet at least 30 times a day because obviously my entire timeline is not going to be promotion. A lot of it needs to also be engagement. So
Absolutely.
7 at the very least.
Exactly. And if that feels like a lot, that's why we say batch your work, right? Write all 30 of those tweets at once. And then here at Teachable, we use a program like Edgar, or you can use a Buffer to schedule out your tweets. But Edgar will reuse what you've already written and recycle it. So if you have an evergreen tweet, like something about a new blog post or something about a checklist, your swipe files, a giveaway, right? All of those lead magnets. If that is evergreen, you can keep using that tweet. There's no harm if that goes out twice in a week, right? Because that content is always good. So especially with those checklists, resource guides, mini courses, if they're evergreen, you can just keep reusing those tweets. So cool. Kyle dropped Meet Edgar into chat. That is what we use over here at Teachable to schedule our tweets. Cool. So that is Twitter, y'all. And quick update on that. If you guys haven't noticed, Teachable, this is actually outdated. We are no longer Teachable HQ. We are at Teachable. So we finally got Twitter to verify us and switch us over from someone sitting on that handle. We are at Teachable. So we have 2 more characters for exclamation points and smileys. Can't wait to use them.
That's great. That's perfect.
All right, number 11, y'all. We are getting through it. Number 11 is LinkedIn, right? Oh, LinkedIn, who thinks of that for marketing? Well, anything that you write, anything that you create, any of your lead magnets can be dropped in to your LinkedIn, and anyone who you're connected to will see them. So this is a quick way to start tapping your market, and also might be another incentive to start accepting the people who are adding you on LinkedIn. So this is a really quick way to just get a few additional people on your list, right? And so LinkedIn, I don't know if that's where I'd put my entire marketing strategy, but it is something that takes about 10 minutes to drop a link and get a few additional people. Number 12, Pinterest. Oh my gosh, I love Pinterest. Pinterest, you guys might know it. The guys out there, I think you might be starting to be like, oh, Pinterest, that's not for me. Not true. People who convert from Pinterest buy at twice the rates of any other social media. There are more people on Pinterest than there are on Twitter. So Pinterest is where you should be at if you want social media that will make you money, because this is where it is. People who are on Pinterest want to buy, they want to know, they want to act, right? No one goes on Pinterest to just like sit, think lovely thoughts, right? I'm thinking about my outfit that I'm going to plan tomorrow based on like my Pinspiration. Or I'm going to think about what I'm going to decorate or do or create a checklist or get a design, right? People on Pinterest are action-minded. So Pinterest is awesome in that regard. And while we don't have time to go into a huge Pinterest strategy, notice that all of our different boards are themed to our target audience. So within your course, think of your different sections. Think of the different section headings you're going to start creating. And maybe each one of those could be a board, right? And you can get people to follow you that way. And if you are interested in going into Pinterest, Kyle is going to drop a link to our blog post featuring Melissa Griffin on how to implement a Pinterest strategy with your course. So all the yummy, yummy details there. Last but not least, number 13, who is still with me? We have Instagram. So Instagram is blowing up. Everyone loves it. It's my personal favorite social media, and it is great for building your audience, right? So we're going to check out Teachable's Instagram right now. We're Teachable HQ. And if you notice right here, our bit.ly is to this accelerator. So the thing about Instagram is that you can't always put a link, or well, you can never put a link below a pin, right? You have to put it in your bio here. And so what that means is anyone looking at your Instagram will have to go up to your bio to click on the link. But the people who do are very, very engaged. And someone like Caitlin Batcher has grown a 6-figure business based on Instagram alone. Maya, are you on Instagram?
I am definitely on Instagram, and I'm using it way more now. My following is growing so much. So my Instagram is just Maya Elious _, and I'm using it as part of my launch as well, just kind of posting tips about building your brand and getting noticed. So it's really helpful. It's a really good platform once you're on there consistently. But this goes with any platform that you guys choose, right? So if you want to be seen on a platform, you have to be there consistently.
Absolutely. And so when you guys start posting on Instagram, think of it the same way you do with Twitter. You want to batch your work and you can automate it. There are programs that will automate your Instagram for you so you don't have to be on there physically posting twice a day. And then notice that we also do this tricky thing with these dots here, right? So in this, we have our question, and with the new Instagram algorithm, I'll give you guys a little tip: ask questions. If you ask questions that people respond to, you're going to get boosted up engagement wise. So we did it in this. That's because we're Instagramming like 2-3 times a day, but that's a really good tip. And then also in your second comment, this is where you can add your hashtags, right? So if people are searching for these things, we do ... And then you can see all of those different hashtags, and these will not appear for anyone looking at your Instagram. So it's a very, very cool way to start getting boosted, getting in front of the right people with those hashtags without people seeing them.
Yep. So somebody was asking me how much time I spend on social media and marketing per day.
I love that question.
Yeah, that is a really good question. I saw somebody say like, you should be doing 4 hours a day. I think I'm on social media possibly 4 hours a day, but that is optional because I'm addicted to it. But you don't need to be spending 4 hours a day on social media when you have an entire course to build, when you should be creating long form content like blog posts and YouTube videos. So even before I hired a social media person, I would just take 4 hours in one day and schedule out all my social media instead of spending 4 hours a day on different platforms. And that's what's called batch processing, which is what she's been telling you guys. You need to batch your time. So if on Sundays you spend 4 hours, you schedule out your Facebook, your Twitter, and you write out your Instagram captions, that's what you do. On Tuesdays, if you write out your blog posts, so maybe on Tuesdays you write 2 blog posts that are going to go out for the week, that's what you do. So you need to be able to batch all of these things. So every single day you're not doing Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, blog post, YouTube video, or else you're going to burn out. You're not going to make it. You're not, especially because especially because a lot of you guys have 9 to 5s. Like, who has time to do all of this stuff every single day? Nobody. I do this full time, and I don't even have time to do that stuff every day. So we definitely need to be batch processing.
Absolutely. And Maya, while we've got you, you're the branding expert. So we just went over a lot of different places where you want to start thinking about your course brand. Twitter, Instagram. What's your quick advice for anyone who are starting out in their business and want to have the forethought to think about brand?
Okay, so my quick advice for people that are starting out and they what?
And they want to start building a brand.
Oh, okay. So if you want to start building a brand, you need to know who you want to serve. Like that's the biggest thing. You need to know who you want to serve, who you want to connect with, because that will allow you to know where they hang out, what it is that they want from you. And you need to be really intentional about serving them and not just trying to get their money. That's so huge. And I think a lot of people, when they think about building a brand, they think about their website, they think about their logo, they think about their graphics, and all of those things are important because presentation is great. But if you are not making a connection with me, like I don't feel connected to you, I'm not even going to care about your logo or your website or your content, let alone give you my money.
Yep, absolutely. So guys, keep that in mind if you, throw everything, right? Because as you create your course, your sales page is a huge reflection of your brand as well. All right.
Absolutely.
So, hey, y'all, we just made it through 13 different places where you can start to market your course, right? So who here has social media, right? Who here is on Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest? If you're on all three, let me know in chat. Because I'm just kind of curious, you know, for everyone starting out, if you're there already or if you want to be. But big exciting things coming up right now because we have just gone through 13 different strategies. And so if you look at marketing, you look at online marketing, and you're wondering how to do it and how to do it for free, right? Because a lot of people think they have to spend money on ads or partnerships or clients or, you know, fancy technology. Or no, it's very, very simple. All of these communities are out there for free. They're totally free. And all you have to do is create something these people really want based off of the free templates we gave you yesterday. And boom, you are going to start to see people coming in on your list, right? You're going to start to see people moving from these different places onto your list. And in that, you have an audience. You have an email list. You have people that you can sell your course to. You are set up for success. And so today we went into all of the nitty-gritty details because I think it's a thing that you want to know. You know, you want to know how to do this. But there might be a few things you also need, right? You need to know how to build your sales page for your course, right? Because once you have this email list, once you take people from Quora or inbound onto your email list, you need to send them to your course sales page, right? And you want to know how to price your course. That's huge. And you want to know how to create course content without driving yourself crazy. And so you might need the rest of these seminars. These are exactly the things that we are going over in the Business Accelerator in the upcoming 4 days, right? This is the third, on the upcoming 4 days, right? We're going to talk about all of these things and go into the nitty gritty the same way we did today. But you might also need the technology, right? Like we said, you can hack around lead pages with Teachable, or you can start creating lead magnets there. And once you have a course and a sales page, you need the tech to be a course creator. You also need a game plan, knowing what to do and when. And all that confusion, you need it black and white, which is why we created the Course Creation Starter Pack. So if you have always wanted to launch a course, right? And if you're here with me right now, I can see 300 of you are with me right here. You know, if you're an hour into this webinar or here, you want to launch a course. But maybe you're feeling like this. You've thought about it, but the timing was never right. And you secretly wondered if it would really work out for you. Or if when you sat down to plan out your course, you had no idea where to start. And I did this on my course. And it inspired a lot of blog posts, but I was there. I was like, oh, I want to create a course. But then I got down to it. I was like, how do I start? How do I do this? Or if you got started and then life got in the way and difficulties arose and the outline got set to the side. Well, as the industry experts, we are offering you the most comprehensive course launch plan ever created, and we are giving it away for free. Absolutely for free. And I know it is the most comprehensive because we're Teachable. We've been doing this. We've been creating this content for a year and a half, and we are putting it together in one launch plan, and we're giving it away for free. And that is the Course Creation Starter Pack. It is made for first-time course creators or people who want an easy-to-follow game plan for launch. And what's in it? Well, first of all, everyone here today gets a free month of Teachable. Right now, you're going to get a free month of Teachable. If you are new to Teachable on our free plan, you are eligible. So I'm going to go ahead and show this reward. It's a big orange button at the top, but stick with me. I'm going to show you exactly how to upgrade. We have a lot of questions there because you are getting a free month of Teachable. And what that means is that you have unlimited courses and students. And unlimited courses means you can use us to create a gate for your lead magnet. And you can have as many students as you want, right? You're not charging by student. We think that's counterintuitive. We want you to have all the students, right? You have 100% customizable look and feel, a custom domain name, learner progress tracking. And this is my favorite feature, guys. It's so sneaky. You can go in and see one student and see what percentage of one video they watched. Or you can look at a course lecture in itself and see what percentage people got through. This kind of tracking is really exclusively on Teachable. We have the most advanced analytics in the industry, right? Full e-commerce to accept payments, email marketing, advanced reporting, fully white labeled. What white labeled mean is our logo can disappear. You can pretend like you built this course, you're a developer, you're an expert, you're an online coach, and you built your course. We don't mind. We don't mind at all. Take credit for it. Like, we get Teachable logo off with this full white labeling capability. You can drip content. And on this professional plan, there are 0 transaction fees and instant payouts. So we're a software company. We used to make money off of every sale that our customers made. No more. On the professional plan, there's no transaction fees and an instant payout. And this plan is normally $99 a month. And today we are giving it to you for free. Because as I said earlier, our one goal in this launch is to take 100 new course creators to launch. And to do that, you need the tech. And we're happy to let you try it out for a month, get to launch, and see how successful you can be with us. And that's why we're putting it all in your hands. So grab the professional plan. It's $99 a month. Or we have our basic plan. So it's very, very similar, except for that you have a few fewer features. You still have unlimited courses and students, a customizable look and feel, the domain, you can set up affiliates. We integrate with Infusionsoft, lead magnets, lead pages, MailChimp, Zapier. We integrate with all those people. On the basic plan, you have a 5% transaction fee. So you might be wondering, why would I choose basic over professional? Well, you get a free month today, but our hope is that you'll roll over and stay with us in month 2, 3, and 4, once you have your successful launch. And so maybe right now you think, do I want to be paying $99 a month or $40 a month later based on those different features? And now, part 2 of the Course Creation Starter Pack. This is the 30-day action plan. It's our follow-up program to take you to launch in 30 days. And what this means, y'all, is that every day for 30 days, you're going to get daily to-do lists right to your inbox that say, today, you are going to create your checklist. You're going to go into Core and find 3 threads to answer to, and you're going to reach out to 1 person in your space. Like that nitty gritty. You are going to get the daily to-do list right to your inbox, and we are going to give you the free templates and product demos and tips. So you get that checklist, right? And then free templates. So if we say like, hey guys, we want you to create, a shopping list for your students, we're going to give you the template to do it so you don't have to design it. Our designer, Allison Haig, she's over there about 10 feet away from me through this glass door, creating those things for you to make them beautiful so you don't have to. And you don't have to spend money on fancy programs, handing it to you. And then we're also giving you teachable demos. So, hey, you got to create a sales page. We're going to go in and show you how to do that in product. And that's coming right to you, along with tips from me. Like, oh, hey, that sales page, when you write your title, remember these things. You're also getting access to our Teachable tribe. That is the Facebook group I showed you earlier, 6,000 course creators that are sharing their advice online. It's community support, it's friendly advice, and it's a place to ask for really customized advice. Maybe you create a piece of content and you want feedback. That is not something that the Teachable team can do. That's considered consulting, but the Teachable tribe is there for you, and they will show you how to do this. And then you will also get featured. So this is really exciting. Like I said, our only goal in this program is to take 100 course creators to launch. And if you launch and you're one of our most successful launches in this upcoming month, we are going to feature you like crazy because we want to show that this works and we want you to be part of that. So you will be the focal point of our next PR push. Looking at this today, you are getting a basic or professional plan that's either $40 or $100, right? You're getting our free 30-day follow-up program. Y'all, I could seriously charge $400 for this and market it online. Maya, you're smiling.
Yeah, I've been smiling the whole time because I'm like, oh, they're getting so much. Like, I'm jealous.
Yes, and we want to do this for you guys. So you're getting all of those templates that are valued at $99, workbook pages, potential press coverage, business accelerator replays, right? And this is a big point right now. If you guys are looking for the replays of this video of day 1 and 2, or that you want the seminars that are coming up, you want to replay because you can't attend, the only way you can get the replay is to get the Course Creation Starter Kit. Because we will send these replays to you on day 1 of that. Why? And why are we not just giving them to you? Because we want you to commit and take that action and show up for these seminars and be here with us and try it. We want to fight that procrastination because it's so sneaky and it sneaks in. So that is how you get the replays. And you're getting this all for free. Like, no, we're not kidding, right? Like, as Maya said, this is kind of crazy. And why is it so great? Well, we're a software company. I'm not selling content. I'm not selling an information product. You know, I could, but we are a SaaS company and we don't succeed until you succeed. So looking at our business and looking what was going on, we saw a lot of people who would get started on Teachable and then they would just stop. And they'd say, hey, I don't know how to do this, or I don't need this, or like, what about? And this is the answer to that question, guys. We are giving you a free month to try it out, and we are giving you all of the resources at your fingertips, delivered daily to your inbox to get you to launch, because we care about you. And we made this internal decision to put your success first and foremost in our company. And so while we're going to go into live Q&A in a second, and we can talk about community marketing and lead magnets and any of those questions that you really want, I want you to type into chat and let me know if you've upgraded and claimed this bonus, because I get to know all of you, one, and also it's a way for us to double check that we get everything to you. And again, this is the only way to get the replays. So all you have to do to upgrade and get the bundle, and we say upgrade, you just get everything for free, right? Click on that big orange button right above this video, and you'll see this. Click on the orange button. It's now or never. It will take you here, and you can choose the basic or the professional plan. And in total transparency, your account will roll over. So if you think you only want a free trial, set that on your calendar now. But you do get a free month of basic and professional. So think about which one you want. The professional plan, here, 0 transaction fees, instant payouts, $99 a month, or the basic plan, which has a few less features, $39 a month. And when you click on either one of these two, you'll see this screen. And if you're a new to Teachable user, you can go ahead and fill in this information here. And if you're just on the free plan, you can log into your school here. And what will happen is you'll receive an email from me, Ashley at Teachable. It will tell you what you just got. It will remind you that the 30-day follow-up program starts on September 6th, right? We picked September 6th because we want you guys all, after this Business Accelerator, to take some time to digest, to get mentally clear, and give you the Labor Day holiday. So all this will start on September 6th. It does not include the replays. The only way you'll get the replays is if you sign up. And on day 1, September 6th, you will get the replays in that email. And if you are a paying member of Teachable and you still want that 30-day follow-up program, you think that'd be valuable to you, Kyle is going to go ahead and drop this link right here, and you can sign up to get that 30-day follow-up program, right? So this is for anyone who's with us right now and is not eligible for the Course Creation Starter Kit, but you can still get that 30-day follow-up program. And just so you guys know, the email will look like this, the subject line and the email. So you guys know exactly what you should be getting. Whew. All right.
That is awesome. Really, really good stuff. I'm really excited for everybody to be able to get the replay, because I know that's what people are like so excited about. They're like, and it's funny because I think everybody sign up with like the initial excitement, like, yeah, I'm going to create a course. But then like everything with the Accelerator Summit pretty much has been so good that people are like, yeah, I'm going to create a course, but I really want these replays. So there's so much value in this bundle here.
Totally. And guys, we want to give you those replays, so you will get them in the first day of that 30-day challenge. And here is that get link to sign up for that, so everyone can get them.
Awesome. I think I'm going to go there right now too. I'm going to be emailing Andrew like, hey, can I get all this stuff?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Awesome.
All right. So I'm going to stop screen sharing, and I'm going to say hello everyone. Good to be talking to all of you. So go ahead and click on that orange button and upgrade. By upgrading, you mean just get the free stuff. And let's go into some Q&A. So we've got Maya. Maya is an expert. This is where I want her expertise to come through. So if you guys have questions, like I said, Teachable does not do consulting. Ask them now. This is where it's at.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep. And do you mind if I tell them about my webinar this evening?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so because if you guys have to go, like I know you guys want to do Q&A, so I'm going to also do a webinar later on this evening. So I would love to answer any further questions if you're not able to stay on today. So artists saying, can I cancel after the first month? Yes, if you feel like that it wasn't worth it, you can cancel. But we definitely believe that you guys are going to love this so much, or else we wouldn't even be giving it away for free. But Teachable is just so valuable. It's made me a lot of money. So I think you guys are going to love it.
Absolutely. David. So, so you should post to social media after course creation and post about it to forums, etc., before you finish the course. You said the gateway was that. So, David, what you want to be posting in those forums are your lead magnets. Maya touched on this earlier with like starting to build that relationship with people.
Yeah. So while you're creating your course, you still want to start building your relationship with people, because when you launch your course, you actually need people to sell it to. And you're not going to have those people unless you're engaging with them and getting them to trust you in the process with your freebies.
Yeah.
So that's what you need to be focusing on.
Absolutely. And so at this stage, you are focusing on growing your email list. So maybe your course isn't created yet. You just have your few lead magnets, a checklist, a resource guide, a video, whatever those are. And you take a link to those and you drop that in all those different communities. And so how it works is like, oh, hey, I created a checklist. I used lead pages or Teachable to make sure it captures an email address. And I have a link to that thing. And I put that link in Quora, I put that link in Reddit, I put that link in all these places where my audience is hanging out online. And people who read it and aren't interested will click, they'll check out the free piece of content and give you their email address. And this will build your list. So later, you sell to them, you send a series of emails.
Right, which is what you guys will be teaching them how to do with the launch stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So I know you guys have a lot of questions like, well, I still don't really get like, what is it that I'm going to send to them? But like, once you guys get the starter kit, that's what all of the information is going to have inside. And this stuff is really, really important. So honestly, creating the course is the easiest part. It's getting people to trust you to buy the stuff and kind of building up that launch process that's a little bit difficult. And that's what you guys will be learning as well.
Absolutely. So, I mean, if anyone wasn't with us yesterday when we talked about creating those lead magnets, creating the things that you give away for free, the freebies, grab the starter pack and we'll send it to you, you know?
Yeah.
Perfect. Maya, how long have you used Teachable and lead pages?
I've been using lead pages for maybe like a year and a half now. I've been using Teachable for, I think, about a year actually. And it's so amazing. Yeah, like, because the platform is so clean. Like I switched from a previous platform that was WordPress based. And it was kind of a disaster. Just like if my hosting company goes down, then that means, you know, my course platform went down. But once I switched to Teachable, I didn't have to worry about that because everything is hosted with Teachable and they have really great customer service. Everything's just so good over there and I love it.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. And we're well pleased to have you with us. I mean, your courses are, your information's great.
Yeah. Oh, she said, why do I use lead pages in addition to Teachable?
Oh, gotcha.
I use lead pages in addition to Teachable because I use lead pages to build my list and I use Teachable to make money. So I just use them for two different purposes. You can use Teachable to build your list, but I really like lead pages and I started using them even before I started building my relationship with Teachable.
And I second that. Lead pages makes it a lot easier. And you can get pretty good deals on it. Again, you know, we always like to give a free option. So it's there, you can use us, but lead pages is great. So go for it.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So Philip was saying, what about purchasing email lists?
Yes, thank you. I was going to ask that one.
Yeah. So, and this is a point that I actually wanted to make earlier. Like within the last year, I built my list to 10,000 without any ads. And I'm not against ads. I'm actually going to get into them. But one thing that I really love about my list is that we have a real relationship because it was organic. I didn't have to buy their trust. I earned their trust by giving them amazing free content. So purchasing email lists, I don't have experience with that. And I technically really wouldn't recommend it. I don't know what your thoughts are, Ashley, but it's
exactly the same way.
I'm very, very intentional about connecting with the people that give me their money. Like it's just so important to me. I'm not here just for people. I'm here to actually serve. It just so happens that I'm serving in exchange for money. So I'm not into buying email lists if I don't even really know how I can help you.
Exactly. So let's see, pulling some other questions. So what is an example of a post to get people to my lead page? I mean, this really varies by where you're posting. There are some universal truths you want to write to your audience You want to fit the format. So on Twitter, 160 characters. On Instagram, ask a question, keep it short. And get to know your audience. You know, don't be spammy and be like, buy my thing, all capitals, right? You want to engage and make this like a conversation. You know, hey guys, like reading what you're talking about, think it's really interesting because blank, you know, I think that you might find this helpful. Drop a link.
Yeah, that's really good.
Perfect.
There's like a lot of questions, I think.
Yeah. We've still got 200 people live. So we'll keep asking us. Let us know. What are your questions about community marketing? I like this one. Maya, what are your best tips to keep people engaged over time? Like you mentioned.
Okay, yeah. To be honest, one of my biggest tips for engagement is just simply asking questions. People want to know that you care what they care about. So I ask questions like, hey, what are you struggling with when it comes to building your brand? Or, hey, what would you like my next webinar to be? Or what are you thinking about doing next when it comes to creating content? Or what's your favorite content platforms besides blogging? Is it YouTube? Is it podcasting? Is it Periscope? So I engage with my audience by asking them questions, seeing what they're interested in, and then creating content that serves their interests.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Susanna says, I built a self-assessment tool as an outcome quiz. Is that a realistic lead magnet? It's a lead-in tool to my course.
An assessment tool? I do think that it is. It just depends what your course is. So whatever your lead magnet is, of course, we're creating lead magnets to build our list, but our lead magnet definitely has to be in relation with our course, right? So as a branding coach, like branding is so vague. And if my lead magnet is how to create your logo, and then my course is how to start your YouTube channel, like that doesn't really go together. So you need to be very specific. Like your lead magnet has to go with what you're trying to actually sell to people.
Absolutely.
So I think assessments are good, but I'm just not sure whether or not it's going to be compatible with your course.
Exactly. Someone asked, your list is 10,000. What did you start at?
What did I start at when I had lead pages? I think I was definitely under 1,000. I think I was maybe at like 500, in between like 500 and 800. And then I created the free email course, which I still use today. Started doing more live video. You guys cannot be afraid of video if you really want to build that connection quicker. I was on Periscope. I did webinars. I did the challenges. I collaborated with people. So I was putting in work for sure. It wasn't.
And where did you get those first 500?
I got the first 500 by just promoting my blog posts. Like I was new to blogging. I wasn't even that good, but I just did it. Again, like I said, anything you start, you're not going to just be great at anything you start, but you have to push past that. Like you have to put aside your ego. Who cares if you look like crap when you start, right? You can only get better at something that you start, and people want to start out as experts, and it doesn't really work like that. So I started blogging, and then I created a freebie, and but yeah, I had some like 5-week thing, which is such a bad idea. Don't do anything that's 5 weeks long, but that's how I started building my list.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the 5-week long thing?
It was like this self-assessment thing. So it was like really understanding who you are. And it was really good. And one of the sections of it is actually in my free email course now. But 5 weeks is way too long of a nurture period before you try to sell something.
Yeah, definitely. And that's great advice though for people. Do you want to drop a link to that actually into chat?
I don't even know if it's still out there. I can put a link to like the current one that I have, because I think like one of the things that I put inside of what I have currently is really good, but
definitely it's in my inbox. So
awesome. Good.
Philip says, what about using images for SlideShare from books published in 1923? Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're creating, right? You can put anything on a SlideShare as long as it relates to and attracts the target people who would eventually buy your course. So if your course is on like, I don't know, calligraphy from 1963 or print from 1963, like Sure. Totally. Yeah. You can do anything you want as far as like creating it and creating your content. And I mean, I love that. I'm a content creator. I love doing it. I love getting creative and making things look beautiful and fun. And
Yeah. I mean, you can pretty much do whatever you want. It just has to actually make sense to your end goal. That's, you know, like we can say something's a good idea or a bad idea, but it's essentially always a good idea if it's in line with your end goal.
Absolutely.
Okay. David was asking about, can he just make his landing page on his own website? You can. A lot of people just don't know how to, and that's why we suggested using Teachable. Because a lot of people don't even know how to code in their own form and stuff like that. But with Teachable, it's really easy.
Yep. David coming through with the good questions.
Definitely.
Arta, copyright problems. With the book. Yeah. Lisa, Ashley, you mentioned that you would have started an online course upon moving to France. I've made the move to Italy and considering creating a How to Move to Italy course. There's so much free info out there. I know there's value in aggregating content. Would you still create a course now with so much free info out there? Yeah, I love this question. Lisa, one thing we always say with a course is, even if all that information is free and it's scattered online, think about how much time it took you to make that move and research, right? It was probably hours on Google and in forums helping people and finding a job and tons of work. And there's a huge amount of value in simplifying and aggregating that information. So sometimes we'll say a course is a shortcut to an outcome. If you can put all that information into a beautiful course that's sections and lectures and on Teachable, your school will be beautiful. And someone can take that course and in 2 or 3 hours know how to move to Italy, there's huge value. And what's especially exciting about that field, because I mean, I've thought about it, is all those people are online, digital nomads, people moving abroad. Like there are forums for that. There are people asking. There are tons of people talking about how to do that. Anytime you have like large bureaucratic governments, like just about the visa process, there's a huge forum I know for that. There's definitely Facebook groups. So huge value, definitely. And also, can I take it?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, can I have that? Let me actually review that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so true though. Like people are taking your course as a shortcut. So, I mean, you can probably search everything that we told you here today, but it's like, are you even searching for the right things? And then are you like implementing that stuff? And how long is it going to take you to search? So that's why, and a lot of people are like, why would people buy my course if they can just Google it? To save time. And time is extremely valuable. A lot of people, I feel like people have more money than they do time. So
definitely,
or at least the people that are going to be buying courses for sure.
Yeah. And, you know, another thing to consider too, as you start creating your course, when you're thinking about making it long or short, know that people take your course after hours, after they work, when they come home on their lunch breaks. You know, no one actually really wants like a 12-hour course. They want like a 4-hour course that teaches the same thing.
Yeah, I literally just wrote a blog post I have a series of how much content goes inside of us. So I have one for blog posts, webinars, masterclasses, and courses. And I was like, nobody wants like a 58 module course. Like they literally want to be able to go through your course in 4 hours, to be completely honest. Like they want the answers as soon as possible. Give them exactly what they need to get results, nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, I love that. And that actually is a huge relief, you know, that helps you cut down like what you put in your course. So when you're thinking of outlining it or something, it really helps.
Yeah, absolutely. So somebody said, what do you think about membership sites versus courses? I think they're both amazing. And I love that with Teachable, you can do both. So like with Teachable, you can just have somebody pay like a flat fee. You can do easy installment plans, which I love because I like getting money over a certain period of time instead of just all my money in 1 month. It allows me to really focus on my students and then kind of like take a break from working so much in my business. And then with membership sites, it's just ongoing until somebody wants to leave. Membership sites, there's a little bit more maintenance that goes into it, whereas courses, you kind of create it once and you tweak it as you go, but it doesn't require as much maintenance as membership sites. But there's pros and cons to each, and you can really test both out with Teachable, which I love.
Absolutely.
Michelle
Absolutely.
said,
that's such good advice. Teachable offers membership sites.
Yeah. I sound like a Teachable spokesperson, which I love. That's how much I love Teachable.
I love it too.
I'm connected. Like I have such a great relationship with them. So I'm like, I know everything about Teachable. You can do anything on there.
Yeah.
So
Thanks. I love that. And you know, I always worry, like, I want to say this and I worry people don't believe me because I work here, and that's fair. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Of course. So Michelle says, if not 5 weeks, how long should the courtship last before the sale? I think that's such a good question.
It is a good one.
Yeah. I really don't think you need to be doing more than like 2 weeks, to be completely honest. And my thing was, it was 1 email per week. Like that's not enough. Like people are going to forget about you at that point. So if you're sending out like specifically for launch emails, if you're sending out like 2, maybe 3 per week within like a 14-day span, I think that's good. And that's for like premium products. You don't even need to be sending out that many emails for something that's under $100.
Right. And so to give everyone a sneak peek at what's coming in this course launch plan, so we want you to sell a premium product that's over, you know, $300. And all the course math we do, we estimate 300. So what we have you do is, as you create content and you create your lead magnets, you're going to send a short email every Thursday for a month, right? 30 days. So 4 Thursdays. And then you are going to do an 8-day email launch sequence. Called the Crazy 8 launch. If you guys have read the Teachable blog and search for launching, it's on there. It kind of blew up. We just shared our launch strategy that we've used. We had one student, Lee Welsenko. He used it. He saw a ton of success. He had a 17% conversion rate, sold a $250 course, and sold like 250 of them.
My gosh, that's amazing.
First time. And he's a developer, so he is not a marketer. And he, you know, it was awesome. I did an interview with him after, and he was like, hey guys, so I'm not a marketer, so I just followed exactly what you said in your blog post, and I looked for a bunch of different launch strategies, and like yours was the easiest to follow, so I did it, and it turned out really well. So since then, we've had a lot of other students do it too and see these same results. So we are giving you guys a launch strategy that has 100% worked. I mean, obviously they're not just like throwing stuff together. They're like giving you guys actual like formulas and strategies that they're that their successful course launchers have actually used. So are you trying to sneeze and you I'm
can't
like
cut off
gonna
your
sneeze
mic?
and I can't mute this mic because it's sticky from coffee. God, no one else has seen this.
Yeah, but yeah, these are like actual strategies. I think that's amazing. And it's funny because even though I've launched my course before, it's just always kind of cool just to like have the formula right there in front of you and then actually implement it. Because that's the issue that a lot of us have. Like we have the information, we just don't implement. Like I'm going to do that, just send out 4 weeks of emails where it's just kind of like, hey, I'm an expert on this thing, and then send out the straight 8 emails and just launch something.
Absolutely. So I just saw a bunch of people ask about, oh my gosh, $300 for my course. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out. We're going to show you how to do it, right? Because that number seems like a lot, but we will show you how to create real value, right? You know, we're never about like charging for something that isn't worth that. We'll show you how to make your course worth that. And if that pricing is freaking you out, Friday, we're talking about pricing, y'all. It's Friday.
Oh my God. I like talking about pricing too. I'm like, can I just cover all of the webinar topics right now?
Yes. I know. This audience is great though. Those are good questions. And yeah, pricing is this kind of mysterious enigma. It feels like shaking an 8 ball and like seeing what comes up.
Yeah.
No, we're going to do it right. And what's your course priced at?
My course is $497. That's like my beginner course. And then like the coaching program, which you guys will actually hear about tonight, is actually $997. Or 6 installments of $197. So it's like crazy to think that you could actually launch a course for $1,000, but people will pay for it. Like there's people inside of my course that have paid for it, or doing an easy installment plan, which is something that's more flexible for people. But then you end up getting more money in the long run. That works too. So once you learn what makes you valuable, people are willing to pay for it.
Yep. And like, think about that. So a $500 for a course sounds like a lot, but if you were to pay a PR agency to do your branding, you'd be paying that an hour. Yeah,
exactly. Or if you, like for a lot of the people in my beginner course, that's $500. Like if they didn't pay me the $500, they would still be in the same place. But people are now actually like getting results because they made that investment to just learn in a short period of time. Again, which is the point of creating courses for your audience, so they can get results quicker instead of being 6 months down the road with no actual results, versus just making that investment and then getting the shortcut. That's what people are paying for, the shortcut, and it's worth the investment for most people.
Definitely. Yeah, and guys, like seriously, 200, 300, 400. Yep. Lee, the guy that did the Crazy 8 launch strategy, his course was $250. But Google offered a course on virtual reality as well, which was $10,000. So his course was way affordable. I was like, you should charge more for that. Because the thing is, it's value-based pricing, which I don't want to give too much away. We will talk on Friday.
Yeah.
But start thinking about how much you'd have to pay to go learn this somewhere else.
Yeah, and think about how much time it cost you to create the course. I'll just say one thing about pricing. If you know how much money you want to be making an hour, and you think about all of the hours you spent in making your course, you will not have a problem with charging somebody $300. Trust me.
All right.
These are really good questions.
Perfect. So,
this is so fun. So people, and again, like, you know, they're going to talk about pricing
Friday.
On Friday. So just make sure you guys show up for that, for a lot of the course questions you guys have about pricing your course, because people are not paying per hour. People do not pay me. Like, my one-on-one time is $330 an hour. People are not paying me because of that hour. They're paying me because of the results of the information that I give them for that hour. That's what you guys need to understand. And as business owners, it's important you start thinking like that, or else you're going to start underpricing yourself. Like, people don't pay you for that 1 hour of time. They pay you for the value within that hour.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So any more marketing questions, community-based marketing? I haven't seen a lot. So I feel like you guys know what you're doing there. Because this is the base. This is the base. We're going to move on tomorrow with the Business Accelerator. We're going to keep going. So I want to make sure everyone is good. Joanna, which marketing efforts have worked best for you?
For me, live video is always going to be the absolute best thing. Like, because live video is the online equivalent to having having an in-person conversation. And like, nobody wants to give money to a non-face. Like, nobody wants to give money to a blog post. Nobody wants to give money to an Instagram. Like, these are things, honestly, really just to nurture your audience. But live video is where you really build that trust. It is, it truly is.
Yeah. Someone just asked about the webinar app. We built that here at Teachable. Jackson, sitting right over there, built this webinar app for us. So we don't sell it. I mean, after we get asked all these questions, we always wonder why. But what you can do if you want to host a webinar is check out our blog post on hosting webinars, because we wrote it down for you guys. Super easy. It's super free. And you can take, basically, just when you start a Google Hangout, you take an embed code and you put it where you want it. So
yep. Yeah, it's so easy.
Absolutely.
David says, I feel bad charging that amount. Well, make sure you show up Friday. They will tell you why you don't need to feel bad for charging.
Exactly. I'm excited now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel bad when I don't charge a lot, because I'm like, this stuff is good. You have to really believe in the stuff that you're selling.
Definitely. So yeah, that is tomorrow at the same time. No, and to clarify, with my upgrade, I get the plan plus the course creation starter kit. Yes. So, and the course creation starter kit is a combo of that free month of Teachable and the 30-day follow-up program. Those two together create the kit. Wanted to name it a duo pack, and people are like, that sounds like makeup, so you're not allowed. And I was like, that's fair. So that starter kit is both the technology and the follow-up program. And that follow-up program is the daily to-do list, templates, product demos coming right to you. And yeah, access to the Teachable tribe. And then our most successful launches, we are going to promote like crazy. So on the Teachable blog going out, we have like plans in the works for some really big outlets. So it's going to be sweet. Teresa, where do you do your live video most?
Me? Oh, so my live video, Periscope if I'm just doing something short, or if it's something formal, a webinar. So again, on Google Hangout, and I just embed it. Yeah. I'm thinking about actually just doing a tutorial on how to do a webinar, like a free one, because a lot of people ask, and I'm like, I wouldn't even charge for that because I want people to do live video. And it's just such a simple process. It's not as like daunting. Intimidating. Yeah, it's not as daunting as people like really think it is. So
yeah, I agree. I was super nervous about it too. And I practiced on Periscope, on my personal Periscope that just like my friends see. Got used to it. I like watched some videos of myself, and Vanessa Van Edwards has some great advice for like body language tips. So, and it's not to do that, but still going for it.
Yeah, I got way better at speaking, way better at webinars, way better at doing YouTube once I was on Periscope consistently. And you will realize that 99% of the people on Periscope are extremely supportive. The 1% are either usually haters or they're usually trolls, and you can just block them, get rid of that 1% of negativity that might come. But people are so supportive that you learn how to really talk to your audience, you speak to your audience, and you become more comfortable in front of the camera.
Absolutely. Lisa asks, can you host live video in Teachable? Yes. It's not often something we talk about because it takes a little bit of tech skills, and those tech skills are with your Google Hangout. You have a link in the bottom right-hand corner. You pull an embed frame and you put it into an HTML block in Teachable. Make sure that course and that page is published, and you can host a webinar in Teachable.
Yep, you can. I actually like host webinars in Teachable, but they're really just my coaching calls with the people inside of my course. It's awesome. The same platform as a webinar, but it's just only my students have access to it. So I get my embed code, I put it inside of my Teachable page, I get a free Chatango chat box, put the embed code in there, then I have conversations with my students.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's super cool.
Love it. Yeah, I pretty much do everything on Teachable with my students. It makes it so easy.
And how long is Joanna asks, how long is your beginner course?
Oh, okay. So I responded, but I think the chat's going so quickly. No, it's fine. But in case you want to look for it, it is 6 modules. It's a total of 8 modules, but there's like 6 core modules that's really going to get you what you need. And it's about an hour each, if that. To take in the information. Obviously, you're going to need to spend time to implement what I'm actually teaching you. So that's why it's split up into weeks instead of hours, of course, because you need to spend a few days actually implementing some of the things that I'm teaching you.
Teresa asks, which program is best to record your screen and voice for courses? So first of all, Teresa, join us for the content day of the Business Accelerator. Maya, which one do you prefer?
What was the question?
Which program is best to record your screen and voice if you're creating a course?
Oh, so if you have a Mac, you can actually use QuickTime Player for free, which I wish I would have known because I bought something for $99. So yeah, you can use QuickTime Player for free. I'm not sure for Windows. So Camtasia, people are saying Camtasia. Yeah, David's like a diehard Camtasia fan. I hope you're an affiliate for them as hard as you're like.
I know, I feel like I should be an affiliate for ScreenFlow. So I've never used, you said you use QuickTime?
Yeah, I bought ScreenFlow, but then QuickTime does what ScreenFlow does. It can record video, record audio, and record your screen.
And will it funnel in that video to the bottom right-hand corner of slides?
Will it do what?
So with ScreenFlow, because I've used ScreenFlow for courses, I love that it will record my face talking through slides and then mash them together. So in the bottom right-hand corner of my slides, there's a live video. And I think that's the one thing that ScreenFlow does that QuickTime might not.
Yeah, major key. I did not know that. So maybe I should get back into my ScreenFlow and get my money's worth.
Well, it just depends how much editing you want to do, because honestly, content that goes back and forth between like slides and then your full face is, seems more professional. But if you're just trying to do like a quick and dirty course that gets your content out there, the first one works.
Yeah. All of my courses is just my face anyway. I don't even do slides. It's just like, you guys just have to stare at me and listen to me. And
well, it's working.
Follow along in the workbook.
Yeah. You've got the glow. You got it.
Yeah. I did my makeup really nicely for my students. So there's that.
This is the first week I've done makeup every day in like 2 years. So Welcome to the Business Accelerator.
That is so funny.
All right, y'all. So what about Chromebooks? Any suggestions for video and screencasts? Chromebooks, same thing with Mac. I'd use ScreenFlow or QuickTime, depending on what you want to do.
Oh, man. So Jenny says, FYI, people, I paid $600 for an online course, and thus far it's been worth every penny. Yes, people do pay that much, and yes, they are actually grateful for it if you deliver the knowledge you need. Exactly. If you can deliver, right, on that price that people are investing in, then people are going to be grateful for it. That's why it's an investment. If you're able to give them a return on what they paid for, they're going to be really, really happy. So thank you, Jenny, for making that point. Because I think a lot of people, they're scared to make the investment. So that makes them think other people are scared to make the investment.
Yeah. My thing is also too, like, before you know anything about a product, if I asked you, do you want a $100 bike or a $500 bike? Everyone would say a $500 bike because they assume it's of higher value, and price communicates value. And so one thing there was just a news article, they're making cereal more expensive so hipsters will buy it. They're not changing the ingredients. They're just charging $6 a box for it instead of like $3. And we're buying it because we want like higher quality goods. And we assume that a higher price means higher quality. So in pricing your course, if you want to communicate that your course is good, and I hope all of you guys are planning to create great courses, I know you are, think about that. Think about how you want people to see your course. It's like a $20 course that's like, meh, I'll buy it, maybe I'll take it, or something that's really an investment for them.
That is true. That is true.
Perfect. So we have been on for almost 2 hours at this point, and I'm sure, we're going to wrap this baby up. So let's take about 2 more questions. So if anyone has 2 more questions on community marketing, on courses for Maya, throw them into chat.
Yep. Any last minute questions? I'm here. Oh my gosh. Yes, Andy. I didn't even read the whole thing and I'm already agreeing. So he said, or I don't know, Andy could be a girl or a boy, but he's saying, I used to be afraid to charge more for a course, but then someone told me to think about the caliber of students if they actually pay decent money for it. Then they're likely to really pay attention and you'll deliver. Don't worry about it. I just cannot express how amazing of a point that is. You have to think about the caliber of students and clients that you want. I could charge, it would be really a stupid move on my end, but I could charge $50 an hour for coaching, right? And get a whole bunch of people in and maybe make the same amount of money, but I'm going to be more drained, number one, because I'm spending more hours with more people. And I'm going to be working with people who are not willing to put in the work, because $50 a month or $50 an hour compared to over $300 an hour does not really hold you accountable to do what you're supposed to do, right? So if you are, let's say you have a gym membership, you want to lose 30 pounds, your gym membership is free. How often are you going to go to the gym if your membership is free versus if you're paying $150, right?
Yeah.
If anything, that money is going to hold you accountable and you're going to be serious. And most times you're going to get serious people that are willing to sacrifice whatever they need to sacrifice to make that investment.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
So glad you brought that up. Let's see, one last question. So, all right. So marketing before everything. Yes. So there's a lot of ways you can interpret that question, but you want to market your lead magnets to build your email list. You cannot launch a course, you cannot sell a course unless you have an email list. So to build an email list, you must go out there with lead magnets and get people to click on them, give you their email address, and grow your email list. So whether marketing, get people on your email list. That's where the money is at.
Yep.
All right. So on Teresa, you have a ton of content questions, which I love, girl. I love questions. I love questions about content. join me for content this weekend on the Business Accelerator, because we're going to be talking all about it with the great e-course adventure guys, Brad and Andy. They're awesome. They're fun. So we'll go through it. And on that note, I think we need to call it quits. We've been on here for a while. So seriously, everyone who is still with me, everyone who joined, thank you for joining. Time is one resource you never get more of. So I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you paying your attention. You guys have been fantastic. This chat was so much fun. Wonderful questions in the Q&A. I'm loving it. So thank you for being here. We so appreciate it. And whatever happens, we hope you start teaching, because people and the world need your knowledge. So whatever you can do to get there, go for it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. I had so much fun.
All right, y'all. Bye-bye.